Blockbuster alert, we've got a massive game on a Sunday afternoon up there in Sydney as the Kings, back in form, play host to the hottest team in the competition. The hottest team in the NBL, make no mistake about it. Perth off a 30-plus point win on Friday night. I cannot wait for this. And look at the total points, absolutely sky high, because the last time these two teams played, 219 combined points. The same game multi for Sportsbet, Sydney to win. Jalen Adams, come on, play like an MVP. And Alex too, I love the young man. $5, enjoy the game.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
The ball in the hands of the right man. He's having some sort of night. Adams can't be stopped.
This is the Jalen Adams that was MVP of the league.
Adams responds.
The MVP is back.
As only Jalen Adams can. Ball in the hands of Cotton. Bryce Cotton at his very, very best.
Don't do it like that. Don't do him like that.
That's ridiculous. You knew what was going to happen the moment Bryce Cotton got the ball.
Yes, it's cooking in the Harbour City and basketball is playing its part. What a matchup this is. Adams against Cotton, Sydney against Perth as Hungry Jack's NBL Champions Pride round continues on a hot day in Sydney. The place to be is in the water or even better, inside Kudos Bank Arena where the Perth Wildcats find themselves on the quick backup. We're delighted to be inside Kudos Bank Arena as well. Matt Russell alongside Liam Santamaria and Brad Rosen. Boys, haven't these teams played their part in setting this game up? Both of them off their biggest wins of the season.
It was brilliant. Obviously, Perth beating Brisbane. That was a great game, and they're just coming in ready and firing. And then you've got the Sydney Kings. A lot of talk in the media they weren't doing well, but they came out last week and went bang versus New Zealand.
Yeah, really excited for this one. The top four clash, as you can see, on the Mitsubishi Motors standings. And that's the challenge for the Kings, isn't it, guys? To build some momentum off that win last week over the Breakers.
Perth on a 39-hour, that's right, 39-hour turnaround since beating Brisbane in the West on Friday. But here's the thing, the Wildcats have won their last 3 games when backing up in a same round double. And Liam, all of them against Cairns, Melbourne and Brisbane have been on the road.
And that's not easy to do. Not easy to win on the road in this league at all. So they'll come in with some confidence that they've done it before.
Brad, how important is this man off a big game against New Zealand a week ago, a big first half against the Breakers?
And he's had a couple of those this year. There's been some quiet ones as well, and when he's quiet, the Kings have struggled. He's one of those players that when he plays well, the Kings very rarely lose. They can win when he doesn't play well, but they rarely lose when he does, and he was great last week.
And then, of course, aside from the NBA experience of Denzel Valentine, who was pretty in pink, you've got the MVP's matchup. He's a great foil to Valentine. Jalen Adams off a 39-point game against the Breakers, 6 of 11, including dropping his first 5 threes, Liam.
He was in scintillating form. It was really, really fun to watch. He was aggressive. Every time he got the rock, he was looking to attack. He was letting it fly from long range, and he put 39 points on the board. He's top 10 in points. He's top 5 in assists. But he needs to have that aggressive MVP type of mindset. The Kings need him to play like he's the man because he is the man for that team, and he needs to bring that approach here today against Bryce.
And here's the 3-time MVP, Bryce Cotton, career high 45, season high 41, which came against the Kings, and he's off a 28-point game, Brad, where he sat for most of that fourth quarter against Brisbane.
MVP, that's as simple as it is for Bryce Cotton. He is in scintillating form, and look, I expect nothing else more than that tonight. He has carried this team for what they have been, and I just love watching this play. This guy is just ready to go.
He's just giving everybody all sorts of problems. So the Kings need to make sure they've got their game plan, they've got their defensive schemes on point, because he's the key to shutting down the Wildcats.
There are the numbers. They have Well, Jalen has a great record against Perth, 24 points per game. It's his highest output against an opponent, so he might talk down this matchup, but deep down he loves it.
Well, that's all good and well, but Bryce has a terrific history against the Kings. Averages more points against them than any other team.
Ty Webster has a season average of 8 points, 3 rebounds per game, but over the last 3 games, have a look at the numbers, Brad, incredible.
Absolutely scintillating. 20 points in both last games as well. But at the clip on Friday night, 72% from the field goal and 64% from the field goal against Phoenix. He's been great.
There's a starting 5 for Sydney. No DJ Ho because of that ongoing shoulder injury, we know, but Jonah Bolden out with a knee injury. What does that mean, Liam?
It means that others are going to need to step up. Alex Tui for sure, but also Quatnoy off the bench.
And Perth nice and settled with their starting 5 on a 5-game winning streak. Webster, Cotton, Usher, Harris and Pinder. Christian Doolittle is back from that concussion layoff, but he will come off the bench. Hiram Harris having career best numbers this season. East meets West, the reigning champs against the 10-time champs. And the tip falls for the visitors. Bryce Cotton and his team, what a quick turnaround. As we mentioned, 39 hours, a trip across the country. What signs do we see from them early on here? Usher through. Harris and Ty Webster picks up where he left off on Friday.
You see on that opening possession, the Kings in that zone that worked for him last week. But I tell you, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, when you're playing against the Wildcats team that is ready to fire from long range.
So Sydney's first possession. Jalen Adams looking for Hunter and finding him. Here's Tui in the corner. The shot off the mark and Cotton off and running. Bryce will go to the line.
Well, that's the danger, isn't it? That was not a bad offense. Jordan Hunter, his screen and roll is outstanding, but when you miss, then they are off to the races, and that's what I have loved. And Liam, Ty Webster, he's able to get that pace, but in that instance, it's now putting Bryce Cotton. There's the 3 that we talk about, but on that stop, look at Bryce Cotton here. Downhill, just puts it behind the back and gets to the free throw line.
He's a 90% free throw shooter, Bryce Cotton. I must have had a bad nightmare on Friday when he missed 2 at the line. I thought, put that in the diary because
I don't remember that, Matty. It might have been a nightmare. You sure it happens?
He makes both, as we expect. Yeah, little blip on Friday night in an otherwise demonstrative performance again from the little big man of the West, Bryce Cotton. Valentine with the runner, finds the mark.
That's a good sign for the Kings. They want Denzel Valentine aggressive, had the 23 points last week against New Zealand, and they need him to tick the scoreboard over.
Is one team able to go whack in the first quarter today? Because they did in their most recent game, Sydney against the Breakers, 34-19 in the first quarter. And on Friday, Perth against the Bullets, 31-13. They set up those big wins in the opening period. Can one of them get away early here? They're 1-all so far this season as Valentine spots Tui open. And it will be a Perth ball.
Well, it's 2 good looks for the next star. It's nice offense, and I love the aggression that they're able to get inside and out. That was a great pass by Jordan Hunter, but he's just got to knock down that shot and open it up for them.
It was the Kings by 13 when they met in October. It was the Wildcats by 9 when they met more recently in December. So 1-all, and interestingly, each have piled on big totals against the other, so they have had their defensive struggles against each other at times this season.
Well, over the course of the season, both these teams are ranked inside the top 4 for offensive efficiency. Perth have been much more consistent at the defensive end. The big question mark is over the Kings' defense, as Pinder steps up and knocks down his first free throw. And they've been trying all kinds of different things. And lately, they've been leaning into this zone that they've started this game in and that the Wildcats are executing against.
Pinder at the line, makes the back end. Yeah, they kept the Breakers to 76 points, so it looked good on paper, but you had reservations, didn't you, out of that big win?
I don't think it's a recipe for success moving forward, to be honest, and entering the playoffs. As Valentine steps up and can't hit it. Teams start to work you out, start to get open looks, you give up offensive boards. The Kings and Coach Abdel-Fattah, they like it for right now because they're trying to find something to get some all-important wins. But man, if it's a defensive scheme that can get worked out.
The one problem I have with it, Liam, and I'd love to get your thoughts of it, it's like they're playing the defense to be reactive of what the other team are doing rather than this is our defense as Jalen Adam knocks down a nice inside game, but it's more reactive where it's like, no, this is our defense, we're going to get stops, you beat us. That's the problem I have.
Jalen Adams cashes in on the happy feet from Ty Webster a moment ago. He's a happy bloke, Ty Webster, and he'll be happy with that from Jordan Usher.
And they're the type of looks you'll give up. A paint catch, then kick it out. The defense has to leave someone open, and it's Usher in the corner.
Jalen Galloway after another big game from his brother Kyron for Adelaide last night. The Galloways getting it done in Hungry Jack's NBL24.
Yeah, they are, and here you see that nice shot, as you said, inside to the outside. And Liam, exactly what's happening now is what New Zealand struggled with a little bit last week. They just couldn't knock it down. Where you go back a few weeks ago when Melbourne were in here, they knock it down, then they start to get some layups, and this is what the challenge is for the Kings. It's just that on-ball screen, kicking it, and now wide open.
Ty Webster finds Usher on the move, outside for Cotton. Put three in the bank for Bryce.
Back-to-back 3 balls. So they're 3 of 3 from long range. How long does it take before Coach Abdel-Fattah says, you know what, we're going a man-to-man?
13-4, nice break for the Wildcats. On the quick backup, but something they've done very well this season, Adams. Much needed for Sydney. Pinder likes the look, not the finish. And another rebound for Galloway. Valentine pulls up. Can't hit the three, nor can Jordan Hunter with the follow-up basket attempt. And foul called on Sydney.
Great take by Harris. Exactly what you want to do. Grabs it off the glass, looks around, didn't have anyone, so just pushed it. Went up strong and don't know, he knew Pinder was there, that if I miss this shot, he's going to clean up that glass, and that's exactly what happened.
You bang on, you could see him talking to Pinder as he was pushing it down the floor, saying, run with me, big fella.
It's not often those big boys get out in the break. Come on, leave the guards behind us. We've got this.
You got to talk them through it, Brad.
Perth with a dominant record head-to-head against Sydney. They've won 66 of their 110 meetings. But here at Kudos Bank Arena, it's the Kings with a slight advantage, 11-9. Pinder leaves the second free throw short. The Kings actually on a 4-game winning streak here against the Wildcats. Good look for Galloway. Bench rises, but the ball won't fall.
Wide open looks, corner threes. It's exactly what this team is looking for. So 2 for Tui. That's that's 1 for Galloway. They're 0 for 5 from long range.
3 of 9 for the game, Liam.
Well, interesting Glover's coming in here for Jalen Adams, and he just looked straight at his coach. He's like, no, I don't want to come out. What are you bringing me out for?
It's not me missing.
Yeah.
Cotton dancing on the perimeter. Usher finds only the iron.
Kings ball. If we can get it down.
Get out, get the ball down for us, Matty.
A step ladder there, Liam.
Step ladder, you need a scissor lift, Matty. You're not climbing that thing.
We need everybody on the eastern side of the arena to blow hard.
Johnny Hunter looked up there and thought, nah, I don't think I'll get it. Just for a tiny little moment, he believed in himself.
Go, Kings, go.
Midway through the first quarter, Sydney, Perth. Hungry Jacks NBL continuing in this tight race towards the postseason. Who's going to finish top 2 and in what order? Who's going to make the play-in tournament? Angus Glover. These teams 2nd and 4th coming into this game. Harris. Oh, Pinder. Jeez. Had tall timber all over the top of him.
They'll have a look at this.
Yeah.
The officials on review. Great push from Hiram Harris.
I have a normal foul, but up to
And then just comes down on his head.
Six. You got anything else?
Got up in the air through the shot fake, but the extra lean forward from Galloway will be of interest to the officials.
Real crush on the neck of Keanu Pinder. An accidental crushing result of the Galloway contact.
Well, we have John Riley right in front of us, and he's asking that exact question what you're saying, Lou. How is that not being looked at?
He gets him up in the air, he jumps back into him, he tries to do everything to be safe.
And there it is.
Good explanation from Michael Aylan. Just suggesting that John calms down only early. No need to get too flustered.
Got to get on
5
top of
minutes
these
into the
things.
first.
Well,
What a revival.
At the moment, Kings 0 of 6 from the three-point line. Kings are struggling down there on the other end for them. 3 of 5 for the Perth Wildcats at the moment, as Pinder steps up and makes the first.
And the thing with those three-point misses is it sparks the running game of the Wildcats.
Yep.
And they love to play with pace. Ty Webster pushing the ball, Hiram Harris pushing the ball. They're getting to the free throw line.
Pinder, 5 of 6 at the line early in this game. Crowd of about 12,000 looking for a reason to make some noise. Glover couldn't provide it.
And Liam, I think that's a great point you make. At the moment, Perth have had 8 free throws. Now, people would say, hey, what's going on? There's foul. No, they have been fouls. The Kings are not taking the ball inside, so there's no fouls to be given. And the Perth at the moment, 7 generous points from there, and here goes Bryce Cotton doing his thing.
And Harris, off a career-high 11 rebounds on Friday night, adds to his tally on Sunday. Ty Webster puts it on the floor. Has a little fumble, gets it back and uses the backboard to bank 2.
That's tough. He's in great form. Ty Webster made something out of nothing there after the fumble.
18-6. Perth holding sway. Valentine gets the rebound. Glover left wide open, but just can't hit. None of 9 from outside Sydney. And the foul bails them out here. Denzel Valentine will go to the line. We know that Perth come into the stadium on a 5-game winning streak, Brad. You're at pains to talk about their improvement this season after a worrying start by their lofty standards.
Well, it was after the first 7 games. They'd won 2. Perth were calling for John Riley's sacking. This is not going to be good. And after the last 14 games, they've won 12. 12 out of 14, and by far the best in the league for those. And what a change it's been. And what I love is that John Riley stood by his plan.
Yep.
He made changes and said, I know what I'm doing and I'm going to go with it. And I love the challenge that he put himself.
Now the Kings stay at it and get the job done. That's why I'd be happy for John Riley to be Coach of the Year. Dean Vickman has done nothing wrong, sustained success. I'm happy for him as well, but if I'm forced to make a pick, it's the recovery of the Wildcats, Usher, Riley, Cotton and plenty of others. I've got John Riley in pole position.
Wow, he's certainly making a very strong case. I think that, you can make arguments for really either one of those guys, and there's more water to go under the bridge over these next few weeks.
Valentine, can they finally hit one from outside? It's 10th time lucky. 1 of 10 for the men in purple.
Oh boy, the circuit breaker this team and this arena really needed. It's their first 9 attempts from long range.
Wagstaff! That's how you do it, Sydney.
They're just making up different ways to knock it down this end, the Wildcats.
Little nod of the head from Jesse, okay. In my 15th season. That's how you do it.
Next one.
Valentine, other side of the floor this time, but it's short. Usher, along with the Wildcats, playing up-tempo. He forces the foul on Glover. gets the shot to go and will go to the line for a possible three-point play.
That is strength, and Liam, you mentioned it before, the missed shots that get the rebound, downhill we go. There's the three that they made. That's their first one, 1 of 11, as a timeout is called. Jesse Wagstaff off the glass, if you don't mind, but loving what Perth are doing downhill. Look at the strength on that. Glover was trying to do only one thing, and that's stop the ball, but the strength, man.
As we have a snooze timeout, this is an infectious interview with Ty Webster. Have a listen.
After a poor start to the year, let's be honest, wow, rolling at the moment. How are you guys feeling about that?
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling, you know, if I'm being honest, feeling unbeatable right now. You know, we're rolling, and the guys are full of confidence. You know, we got some loose units on the team, so you know, it's feeling good.
Speaking of loose units, do you ever not smile? Are you ever not happy to be at basketball and playing?
Nah, I'm just happy to be alive, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm enjoying I'm going to make the most of this, you know?
Your form's been great, especially the last couple of games, really focusing and getting great points at a high clip as well. How do you rate the season so far for you personally?
Yeah, still got a long way to go. You know, I'm not satisfied with where I'm at, but, you know, making steps in the right direction, you know, trending in the right direction, as JR likes to say.
I feel good after watching that. I'm happy after watching that. And dare I suggest that the loose units, you got the Webster brothers fairly prominent in that list at Perth.
Well, Ty in particular, Matt, like he brings such a great positive energy to that group. I spent some time with him in pre-season in support of Alexander Sarr, and you go to their practices and Ty is always up and about, joking with everybody, having a good time. This guy, Jordan Usher, who's at the free throw line right now, he brings a real competitive spirit to this group. They've got a great balance, this roster, of, you know, quiet competitors and, as Ty describes, some looser units.
Well, I've got to say, as commentators, we get a rundown, as we know, the day before. And when I saw, Brad, you're going to interview Ty Webster, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm ready for this one. I love him. He is such a good guy.
He's about 7 years younger than Corey, and they haven't crossed paths too often. Different colleges in the States, and most recently, Ty Webster's played in Germany, Turkey, Lithuania. Corey taking a different route. And right now, they're trying to stop Angus Glover and the Sydney Kings from staging a comeback. 26-15. Best part of 3 minutes left in the first. Wagstaff finds Cotton, who pulls up, can't hit the three. So another opportunity for the Kings to close this margin. Tui outside for Valentine, who leaves that runner well short. Didn't come out of the palm at all how he wanted. Poor shot after they denied Perth. Bruce, mission impossible, guarding Bryce Cotton. There's the result we see so often.
Well, when he starts dancing like that, you're in trouble. You know, if he can cross it right, cross it left, you've got to get on his hip and force him one way.
Sean Bruce checks the feet, drops the three.
Well, the one positive for the Kings is most of the threes they have taken, they are good looks. They just haven't dropped them. These last few, that's going to be, oh, they're not going to count that. That's going to be on the floor. But the last few, they have been able to make a couple, and that is keeping them in this game. But, Liam, it's the 28 points yet again. They're just giving up too much on the defensive end.
Well, they shoot a lot of threes, the Kings, so they're a completely different-looking team when they're knocking them down. Last week, they hit 15 threes at over 50%, and not surprisingly, they blow the doors off New Zealand. They come out cold, they fall down, and now they're starting to claw their way back.
Well, it's great to see Doolittle back on the court as well. Obviously, had that awful knock about 9 days ago, I think it was. So good to see him back.
Cotton adds 2 more to the tally. When he gets to 11 points today, it will be 5,000 points in the NBL. We'll talk more about that when the milestone happens. Here's Jalen Adams at the other end, has the ball fall over the cliff.
So strong, just so tough to be able to get in there.
Off-Wera had some nice moments on Friday night. Gets the ball back here from Wagstaff and adds 2 more to this first quarter. 32 points for the Perth Wildcats, a nice opening. Over a minute left in the first quarter. Adams for three. Now 3 of 14 from outside in the first quarter. Geordie Hunter, 60% field goal shooter this season, but without Joy there. Momentarily lost the ball, got it back, couldn't hit the mark. Bruce for three. Still they won't drop. And it's a foul called on Okwera. Bailing Sydney out here.
Oh, they continue to blaze away, don't they? Not shy in any way, shape or form. Now 3 of 15. So 15 of their 23 field goal attempts have come from beyond the arc. I like them in hit when they're being aggressive towards the ring like Noy is being right now. Comes up short. It's going the way of the Wildcats, but the Kings need to be more aggressive towards the rim and get to the free throw line a little.
We haven't seen a lot of it in the first quarter, but Sydney are still getting a bit right this season. First in the league for points, rebounds, bench points, and made threes, but not today. Just repeating 3 of 15 as they continue to blaze away from outside the shot clock. About a second inside the game clock. Bryce Cotton, very aware of that. Now he moves, the runner, bottom of the net with only a couple seconds left. No time for Sydney, and Bryce Cotton and the Wildcats applaud another outstanding quarter. They've flown out of the blocks. They've built a 14-point lead. Perth 34, Sydney 20, and the MVP in waiting raises 5,000 career points in the NBL. The 50th man to that mark and the 3rd player in the 40-minute era. We salute you, Bryce Cotton, as he continues to check off the achievements and the milestones since coming to Australia and playing such great NBL. We'll break and come back to the Harbour City right after this.
He's getting married, and we want to thank him for having his Bucks party here at the Kings. How good is that? He's at the Kings back in the day. He'd go to King's Cross for a Bucks party, but now people are coming to the Kings. Where are you? Get up, stand up, Sanjay. There he is. He's getting married. Give him 3 cheers.
Perth chasing a 6th straight winner. On target after the first quarter, they lead it by 14. They've shot the ball above 60% compared to Sydney's barely 30%. And contributing, as he always does, Jordan Usher, but mainly Bryce Cotton with 11 points taking him to 5,000 in the NBL, the 50th man to do so. But he's got there in 222 games, Liam Santamaria, Brad Rosen, and that is much quicker than most.
Well, there goes Angus Glover, and what do? First possession, shoot a three, but let's give it to Bryce. Absolutely outstanding as Jalen Adams will get the basket count, and that's a good start for him. But yeah, let's just talk about Bryce. We are so privileged to have great players come to our shore, but oh man, he is one of the best without a doubt.
Well, he's mesmerizingly good, isn't he? It's so fun to watch him on a week-to-week basis when you get the chance to see him in person. To be courtside and see how small he is and how many points he puts on the board at a really high rate. He's just so fun to watch.
Jalen Adams hopes to compare at the end of 40 minutes today. Bryce not quite in Andrew Gay's territory, 18,908 points. But 5,000 makes him only the third player in the 40-minute era to get to that mark. Chris Golding, Daniel Johnson, and Bryce Cotton. Sydney rotate the ball for Quatnoy, who couldn't complete the reverse layup, but forces the foul on Perth and will go to the line.
So I like that from the Kings. Now, the previous possession, you see Jalen Adams put it on the deck, attack the paint, get to the free throw line. Then the next time down the floor, you see Quatnoy do the same. So the kick across, he puts it on the deck, challenge the defense. They only took one trip to the free throw line in that opening term while hoisting up 15 threes and shooting them at a really low percentage. This is a much better balance to your offense. Yeah, if you're open, let it fly. But if you can, attack the paint and get easy opportunities from the stripe.
Noy does what is needed at the line. A 14-point quarter-time margin, back to single figures now. Harris for Ty Webster. With the handoff for Usher. And they turn it over. Glover thought about the three. They work baseline. Noy again with an and one to come. This is better, Liam.
Well, much better. And that's, yeah, and you can tell that there was an element of discussion at quarter time to get a little more balance to their offense. Kick, Glover attacks the closeout, extra pass, and one opportunity at the rim.
Timeout by Perth, great decision made, and I like the chess move. Sydney come out, go bang, this is what we're going to do. Perth now turn around and go, let's just talk about this and let's get back to what we were doing in the first quarter.
A 7-0 run to Sydney to start the second quarter. Just what was needed as we head into a snooze timeout. And the No Bull Tour, you'll know all about that by now. We can't wait each time it's advertised. I look forward to it just that little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't scanned the QR code and sorted yourself and your friends out some tickets, I'm not sure what you're doing. I mean, you see it, you hear about it on a game-to-game basis, and you know, Scotty, Luke, Horace. It's going to be a great night out. Hear all those stories, Brad.
It's one of those things where, like, you do know who's coming, don't you? Like, it's Scotty Pippen, it's Horace Grant, it's our own Luke Longley. Get into it.
Proudly presented by Coca-Cola, NBL.com.au. Follow the links, and here's the Sydney shot chart. Look at all those X's outside the arc.
And I tell you, at quarter time, it looked even uglier. So a little bit better off the back of their first few possessions. But yeah, you can see on the Blackmores, a lot of X's. They were cold in that opening term. And if they can combine some more attack on the rim with a higher percentage from long range, they're going to get back in this game.
1,000 points for Quatnoy, so the milestones continue to tick over. Quatnoy, his second season at Sydney after 3 as a Taipan. Ty Webster thought about it the first time, pulls the trigger second time.
Well, that's just a great shot, but you live with it. It was good defense, it was just better offense. And if you've got a step back, and poor turnover here, let's watch Pinder.
Here's Keanu Pinder jamming to home. I was expecting something a bit more
Where's
flamboyant.
The 360, come on.
A bit more conservative from Keanu this time around. We've seen him spin and slam it over his head backwards in all manner of fashions.
That was an incredible athlete. Just got in the passing lane, picked that, and didn't quite have the same runway this time around. So just tucked it in, made sure of it, put the Wildcats back up double digits. Down the other end, Adams, again, the attack on the rim. Another trip back to the strike. 2.
Sydney down by 10. Adams at the line, off their biggest win of the season. What can Sydney say today, statement-wise? What can they achieve if they come back to win this game, make it back-to-back against the Breakers big time and against a hot team like Perth?
Well, the first thing is to say that that New Zealand game wasn't a fluke, because that's what a lot of talk has been in Sydney. OK, you've been pretty poor over the last 6 weeks. New Zealand came in, they were not good at all. So did we see the real Sydney Kings, or did we just see a very poor New Zealand? Right now, Perth are doing whatever they want, like that.
Cotton off the mark, a little heavy, Bray. Valentine. Drop-off pass for Adams. Hunter with the follow-up, but Sydney commit the foul. Yep. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah said after the Breakers win, it was all about freeing them up and having fun. Repeated by Jalen Adams, we went out, played free and had fun, which had a few viewers, readers, listeners saying, well, why not do that all the time? Is that too simplistic an interpretation of what coach and player had to say as for the reason to that Breakers result?
Well, I think when you're knocking shots down, it is fun. And so did the chicken come before the egg, or was it the other way around? Here they've had similar looks, and in that first quarter they didn't go down, and as a result they're looking a little less happy-go-lucky.
Valentine has it rattle home, helped by Jordan Hunter.
Well, I am with you on that, Liam, and it's a lot more fun when you're getting the ball off the backboard and running than taking it out of the net. And that's been the Achilles heel.
Pull-up jumper from Bryce Cotton. He's missed his last couple of shots. Jordan Usher, a tower of strength down low with the rebound and putback. Watnoy on the move. Offensive foul called against Sydney.
Well, here you get a look. Watch Jordan Usher, and this is what can happen against the zone. No one gets a body on Usher. In fact, no one's blocking out anybody at all. So you're susceptible to offensive rebounding when you're sitting in a zone, and Usher and his athleticism on display right there.
Well, it's just effort, isn't it? That's just pure effort. He could have just turned around and ran down the other end and had no doubt I didn't need to crash that glass, but no. He went in hard, he wanted it, he rewarded himself and got the second attempt and put it in for his team.
Usher, beautiful pass as Ty Webster cut baseline and scores. Margin back out to 10. Adams was looking for Hunter. The ball got there eventually. A lucky bounce for the Kings. Usher just bumps away from Galloway. Can't score. There's a foul here called on Jordan Hunter, I think.
Kings fans don't like it. They don't like it at all.
Well, actually,
Valentine it is,
yeah,
sorry.
they called it on Valentine.
Use it, Sydney fans. Use it right here.
What do you think, man?
Not a lot in it.
Defense.
Ty Webster, he's been hot since the get-go today.
Well, the Kings have issues if guys like Ty Webster are knocking down shots. You're going to be in that zone. You're going to give guys looks from long range. It's Galloway, great attack to the rim. That was nice. But the Wildcats right now, 5 of 11 from long range.
Well, they're going to call that on Jordan Usher and Liam. I was just going to say, there comes a time when you've got to say, all right, Ty Webster's now feeling it. We've got to close out here. I know the game plan is let's let him shoot the ball, but now 5 of 5, 2 of 2 from the three-point line. You've got to start to close out, get a hand up, not allow the penetration, but close out short and make it a little bit tougher.
Usher 10 points, Cotton 11, Webster 12. Leading the way for Sydney, Jalen Adams with 11, but Geordie Hunter says, don't forget about me. Up to 6 points for the game, 3 of 5 shooting.
Great find from Valentine, and they should be looking to attack right now, the Kings. Pinder's off the floor with 2 fouls. Aguera's not out there. We know Alexander Sarr's sitting out as Cotton sticks one from long range. They're little, this Wildcats lineup, and the Kings, as a result, getting right to the cup.
Watch Malowich out there after the fist pump from Cotton after a couple of misses. He drains the 3 and celebrates, but Sydney stem that momentum straight away. Back into the second quarter we go. Sydney's D denies Bryce on that occasion. Valentine to Galloway. It's a sweet shot. The Sydney crowd sensing these are important minutes. Sydney get it back to 5, force a turnover. Suddenly the smile disappears from Ty Webster's face. And Sydney look a bit more energetic. Malowich again. Offensive rebound, Jordan Hunter. Another putback too. He's up to 8 points for the game, and John really says we need a timeout.
Well, this is what Sydney Kings do well. When they get stops, they run the ball. Valentine's been great, throws it upstairs to Hunter, and just moving that ball. I do like Valentine in that one. They're knocking down the threes. I just saw 2 substitutions coming in. Liam, if I'm the Kings, I'm not making any changes right now. Let that team roll. They're balling.
They're rolling right now. 25 points for the Kings in the first 6 minutes of this second quarter. Offensively, they're on a heater right now.
We head into a snooze timeout. The pumps by Reebok. Seats are full again. Jono and Amy Castano. Jono, personal trainer, gym owner. Amy, an influencer, well known for all sorts of beauty products, tutorials, tips, routines. Boys, you'd be following them intimately, no doubt.
Well, Matty, I know you work out with him, and you were saying how fabulous he is at his training venues.
Absolutely. That's why I'm the rig I am. The Pumps by Reebok competition. You also can sit courtside and experience the VIP treatment. Just scan that QR code as I try and force Liam and Brad's phone out of my face. They want some shots of these influencers sitting sideline. You too can be here. Great atmosphere, not just at Kudos Bank Arena, but around the league. Big crowds, game in, game out, because the product is so good and the race to the postseason is intensifying.
Small ball lineup for the Kings out of that huddle. So Hunter comes out. Tui, the small ball 5, matching the smaller lineup the Wildcats have out there on the floor.
Corey Webster. Doolittle finds Usher, shooting over the top of Malowich and getting it to go.
I like this substitution, Webster. Knockdown shooter. They're in this little zone, run a few little matches here. This could open up Cotton as well to give him more looks as Webster's in there. Let's see if they can get the best out of it.
Galloway frees the arms, it goes through Valentine. Malowich. He's had an influence since coming on.
Comes from the attack from Jalen Galloway. What Abdel Fattah wants. Put it on the deck, attack the paint, kick, open shot on the arc.
5 points, 2 or 3 from the field. Again, Usher with the silencer at the other end. Valentine, a long way outside. That was optimistic. Especially when you look at their 5 of 21 3-point shooting clips so far. Webster, a little fake on Valentine. He can't score, and Tui gets the rebound. They're off and racing. Malowich draws the foul. He's off to the line.
Well, one of the problems the Kings have had is their defense. Look at this closeout. He runs hard and now allows middle. That's rule 101. You've got to be able to close out hard. And with Jordan Usher, you would want to give that shot up over a hand rather than allowing the penetration there.
Foul called on Corey Webster, his first of the game.
If you're there stationary, you get legal first, then you move laterally with him, and the contact is here. If you move forward, you're responsible for that contact.
There's the explanation. Michael spelling out for Corey, who's played a lot of basketball. He's second at Perth after 11 decorated years at New Zealand. Three-time NBL champion Corey Webster, now a veteran of the league at 35 years of age. An important piece in John Riley's puzzle still. Cotton gets it back. Bryce Cotton, the master at work. It wasn't seamless, but he stayed at it and scores again. No for Galloway, but Valentine gets an offensive rebound. And McQuatch Malowach continues to deliver. Up to double figures, the second king to do so.
Really impressive minutes in this second quarter from McQuatch Malowach. The 10 points, and Denzel Valentine, he has ramped things up.
Now Corey Webster pulls up. The rebound for Valentine, who then collides with Wagstaff. It was an easy foul to call.
So that's a fourth rebound for Valentine. He's got 8 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Having an enormous impact out there right now at both ends of the floor.
And that's a great pickup, Liam, because he did play point a couple of times this year and very turnover prone, but not today. It's obviously something they've worked on, he's worked on. He looks great at that spot at the moment, and love when he's coming off on balls. He's creating good things.
Sydney walked the floor. Just over 90 seconds left before half-time. The Kings still with one foul to give. And are they about to take the lead here? Sydney having trailed by double figures. Leave it all square at 54. High-scoring first half. Again, Webster goes back to Cotton. And now Ty Webster, given plenty of time, couldn't hit the shot. They recycle possession and go to Hiram Harris. Hiram Harris shakes the defence and casually drops 2 more.
Great poise from Harris. Good ball movement from the Kings, and Harris just took his time in there. Maintained control, pivoted back, and a much-needed bucket for the Cats. As Del Fatah calls for time.
We head into a snooze timeout. We wondered how Jalen Adams would back up his 39 points last time out against New Zealand. He spoke with Brad before tip-off.
Coach Mood has come out and said that there is life and it's not always basketball, and he wants to bring the joy back to the Sydney Kings. How's that been going?
It's been going good. You know, he's done a good job just, you know, kind of implementing the culture that we got, and just making sure we keep our heads on straight and, you know, not listen to too much outside noise. So for sure, we just want to go out and have fun. I think that's when we play our best basketball.
Tonight, the MVP is Jalen Adams is coming up. What everyone's saying is Bryce Cotton is the MVP. Did you take that personal?
Not really, man. It's not my job. I control what I control and go out and hoop, so that's what I'm going to do tonight.
What do you got to do to get the win?
Defend, obviously Bryce. Limit the other guys, stick shots and defend, and we'll be all right.
So far, Jalen Adams, 11 points to lead the Kings, 4 of 6. Just the 1 assist for Jalen so far. There are the numbers in comparison for Bryce Cotton. How are we assessing this matchup nearly at half-time?
Well, it's Bryce Cotton's show, isn't it? He's been able to do what he likes, shooting 50% from the field. The looks that he's got have been great. But really, I also love what Ty Webster and Jordan Usher has given.
I will say, though, Adams, he's the guy who sparked this at the start of the second quarter. He's the guy who started getting on the attack, getting to the free throw line. And this man right here, what a cameo in the first half. McQuatch Malawatch, outside, inside. He's now the Kings' leading scorer, giving him a great punch off the bench.
And here's what's incredible. In the first 2 games against Perth so far this season, his only stats were 1 rebound. He played 7 minutes total across those 2 games. The only number was 1 rebound to his name. Well, today, he's delivering for them 12 points. And he's been very important since the quarter-time break in his first year as a King. After 1 at Melbourne United, averaging just 3 points, 1 rebound per game. Well, he's way above that today. Doolittle.
Beautiful basketball. Inside, outside, nice little jump shot from the free throw line. Very simple from the Perth Wildcats.
Malawatch gives it up for Galloway. He can't score, but the O board taken by Hunter. They'll get another look. And Galloway loses it. It's off Perth, so Sydney keep the ball.
6 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to have to throw it in from beyond halfway, so need to get on the attack.
Flash, Jordy, flash, Jordy.
Valentine. Shot clock to 2. Denzel Valentine off target significantly. Perth's lead as big as 14 points in the first quarter. And the Kings have got it back to 1. So the shot clock turned off late in the second. Perth's conductor goes to work. Cotton. Harris back for Doolittle. Harris gets the rebound, can't get the shot away in time. So Perth, after leading by as many as 14, go to the break up by 1. Wildcats 58, Kings 57.
Well, high scoring, fun first half. Terrific second quarter from the home team. 37 points from the Kings in that second term. Got to the free throw line, started knocking down shots from long range and pulled themselves back into the game.
Brad Rose and the 2 highest scoring teams in the league are doing it again.
Yeah, I've got Ty Webster here. Ty, 58-57. Great first quarter, but you allowed them back into it. What happened?
Yeah, just giving them second chance opportunities. Too many offensive boards for them, so we just got to come together as a group and rebound.
Shots looking good again today, mate. Playing well.
Yeah, feeling good, man. It's time to make them pay, man. It's time to make them pay.
Good luck for the second half.
He'll look to make them pay in the third quarter. There are 12,000 fans at Kudos Bank Arena. We'll break and come back to go through the first half highlights from the Harbour City. You're watching Hungry Jack's NBL in Champion Pride round.
There's 2 teams here. We've got Team A on my left, Team B. Basically what they have to do, they're all going to have shots, 3-point shots. Once they get it in, the next player steps up. First team to score 10 3-pointers will win. So you need to cheer them on. You look very nervous, but I think you'll do all right. Okay, we're going to kick it off. Good luck. You can cheer for whoever you want. Let's go. Team A, Team B, on 3, 2, 1, let's go. First to score. Wow. That's 1 for Team A. corner. Oh, well done. Teammate leading at the moment. Again, teammate. That's 4. Oh my goodness, they're awesome, teammate. Let's go, Cherubon, ladies and gentlemen. Teammates lead. Oh, look at this one. Unbelievable. Who is this? We need to sign you up. Team B slowly catching up. I'll get a score check for us. Who's winning at the moment? I think it's Team A. Well done. She's good. Very good. Have you played before? I reckon Team A is winning at the moment. Next one to go in will be...
So if you can get him into the air, he has a chance of picking up a foul on him.
That's what Trevor Torres does best, and that's what the Wildcats do best, that run and stun. We have a timeout at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre.
The championships were some very fond memories. First one particularly, more so for me, but even the early years. We went from 0 to 1,000, and you know, as a 20-year-old man, it was a lot, but it was incredible. Unfortunately, in the 80s and 90s, that's when HIV and AIDS hit the society at large. It was bad enough being a gay man in a sport in the 80s and 90s, but then that, and there was a lot of fear created through media and everything, and in some ways it was somewhat understandable because there were many questions and not enough answers. There was a lot of blame that it was a gay disease. And then there was this element of sweat and saliva and you could catch it. So I had a partner. I was constantly living in fear. Am I putting my team at risk? Am I putting myself at risk? And I'd have tests all the time. And tests in those days would take 2 weeks to come back. So I'd live 14 days in terror, not sleeping. And that impacts you as a human being, but it impacts your playing and your training. And so I was constantly like this. I stepped away, well and truly away, and I did that for my own mental health. And I also had a lot of animosity towards the sport. I felt like I'd given more of myself than I should have, and I blamed, which was lack of maturity, really. But now I've kind of, I've worked through all of that. The sport gave me so much. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for all of that. So, yeah, thankfully I let go of blame and stepped into just owning stuff. Last year was, to be honest, a little bit terrifying to tell that story, but now I feel like I want to do more. The Red Army and the Perth community, they just embraced me. It felt like I'd come home. Australia is a sporting nation. We should really have to have these pride and Indigenous and these sort of rounds, but we do. The purpose, I think, is to start conversations, to try and break down some barriers and to open up dialogue that stops fear and judgment and blame and starts bringing more of an inclusive society. Just a huge thank you to the NBL, to the Wildcats, and to the community and to the Wildcat supporters. The supporters around the nation, thank you for supporting this round, and if you're not a supporter, then maybe open up and see what's possible.
Champion Pride rounds, pushing inclusivity, diversity, no matter what your situation, the league, the clubs in the NBL, the players, supporting an initiative that suggests basketball is a game for all, Brad Rosen.
It is, and I remember watching Trevor Torrance play. Whoa, he was a baller. I can tell you that. He was a flat-out player. I don't like going in eras, but that Jesse Wagstaff sort of role, could knock down the three, played hard, set good screens, but he was a huge part of Perth Wildcats' dominance through that era.
Trevor Torrance, Isaac Humphries in the modern league, pushing and advertising Pride round significantly, and good on them for doing so. Now, Bryce Cotton in this first half, gents, 16 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from outside, a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Give us your assessment of magnificent Bryce.
Well, he was spectacular in that opening term in particular. 11 points, and, you know, he had the Wildcats blowing. They were up 14 at quarter time, but they were able, the Kings, to just quieten him down in the second. So he ends up with 16 for the half. They were running bodies at him, closing out hard, and you know, they've just managed to stem the tide a little in terms of Cotton to this point.
Well, the one thing we haven't picked up at the moment is the Perth Wildcats giving up 37 points in that second quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just unlike. But look at that 40-minute era. Chris Goldingwell, we've seen what he's been able to do. Daniel Johnson, Bryce. Geez, there's some players on that list, isn't there?
He needed 11 points today to go past 5,000 career points in the NBL. Bryce Cotton, 222 games it's taken him to get there. Golding, Johnson, and chasing hard, Mitch Creek, Tom Abercrombie.
Well, we've seen some fun scorers, haven't we, through this modern 40-minute era, and Cotton, the best of all of them, pouring on the points, but not to be outdone today and over the course of these last couple of weeks in particular is Jalen Adams, and I really like the fact that he did this to begin the second quarter. He put it on the deck, he attacked the paint. The Kings shot 11 free throws in that second quarter. They only shot 2 in the first term, and Jalen Adams really set the tone in that regard. We're watching this matchup over the course of the game. You can see the Blackmore's shot chart for Jalen. Hasn't been able to find his touch from the perimeter, but has started to get involved off the dribble.
It's the first leg of a Sunday doubleheader. Later on, we go to far north Queensland, Cairns, Brisbane. But first up, the second half, Sydney against Perth. Just 1 point the difference heading into the third.
But listen, pump the beats. Everyone's going to get on their feet, and we're going to dance. We've got the kids here going wild already.
The two highest scoring teams in the league poured on 185 points when they first met this season, 219 second time around, and it's high scoring again, 58-57. Who can apply a defensive clamp at some stage in this second half? Sydney won the second quarter convincingly, 37-24, and Keanu Pinder is called for a foul here.
That's a good call. Yeah. Geordie Hunter comes across for the contest, and Keanu just leads with the elbow. Fends off with that left arm. Here you see, great look from Harris, and he just pushes off with that left arm. Offensive foul on Pinder, and that's number 3 on Perth's starting centre.
Just a reminder, DJ Hogue still injured for Sydney. No Jonah Bolden either with a knee issue. Christian Doolittle back from a concussion layoff for the Wildcats. Half-time score, 58-57 to the visitors, to Perth. And now Adams gets a kind roll for the pickup and then the score.
Well, we saw a miss there from Alex Tui, and at the moment not having one of his better nights. 0 of 4 now after 12 minutes, but I love the fact that he crashed the glass. Just got to go and find it in a different way rather than settling for that 3, because it's not dropping at the moment. 2-0 to Geordie Hunter over Keanu Pinder to start this third quarter. And now there's a turnover from Sydney. Bryce Cotton getting his hand in the way. Cotton. And the rebound taken impressively by Jalen Galloway. You're right, Liam. Sydney did a decent job on Bryce in the second quarter, keeping him to 5 points. Here's Tui in the corner. And another offensive board. Again, it's Galloway providing the rebound. Adams was looking for Hunter, but it's off the mark. Cotton 11 points first quarter, 5 second quarter. And Jordan Usher just showing Perth to the ring. Valentine the extra pass for Alex Tui. Going at Hiram Harris and forcing the foul on Harris. Really wanted the travel call on the Sydney King. Michael Aylen is having none of it.
Oh, he's just desperately trying to get something happening. Yeah. Alex Tui hesitant from long range now. I thought this was an offensive foul, I'll be honest. Drops the shoulder and bowls right into Hiram Harris, but gets the whistle, gets to the free throw line, and now can he see the ball go in the net? He's 0 for 5, all of those misses from long range. Just needs a couple of knockdown free throws to start feeling good about himself.
Behaviour warning issued to the Perth bench. That was assured. Never looked like missing. So Alex has his first point for the game. And you can make it 2. Alex Tui, season high, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. His best returns. As Ty Webster just drains 2 nonchalantly.
He is just a change man in these last few years.
Net.
He just looks so smooth. Love his halftime interview where he's just happy and loving life.
But make him pay, Brad.
Yeah, he's just playing great.
He's a walking, talking quote, Ty Webster. I don't know whether every coach he's ever played for is happy to see the mouth open too often, but from a broadcast perspective, he's gold. Ty Webster.
Well, I've had chats with John Rillie about him. I love him. I just love the way he plays. I love that he's free. Just go out and play. But that's what John Rillie's like. When you step on the court, you play. Outside, all good, just bring it when you're on. And that's what he's doing today.
He reminds us that sport is played for fun. A smile rarely away from the dial as Keanu Pinder still can't get those shots to go in the third quarter, but at least this time he'll force his way to the line.
Third personal on Geordie Hunter. He doesn't like it. He's having a chat with Coach Abdel Fattah, say, can we look at challenging that? I felt like I went vertical to contest. Time's ticking away as they check the laptop, and Keanu Pinder's going to go to the stripe for 2.
Where he's 5 of 6. Most of them came very early in the first quarter. But despite the gap between trips to the line, he's now 6 of 7.
Well, here's where I'm Perth. I'm going inside now to Pinder. No Jonah Bolden to come off the bench. You've got Geordie Hunter on 3 fouls. Let's go and get that 4th.
Well, the reality is both teams are in that same situation, right? Pinder's on 3 down the other end, and Alexander Sarr's sitting out. So keep an eye on whichever one of those big fellas picks up their 4th first.
And Hunter just underlines his importance with the rebound on the missed free throw. Standing tall, standing strong for Sydney. Valentine, tough shot. Can't get it to go. It was Perth in control earlier this one, out by 14 points, but having worked back into the game, Sydney have made it nip and tuck since then.
Just pure athleticism, isn't it, Liam? Just jumps right over the top.
But they're tough shots.
Yeah.
The pull-up from Webster, the little short-range pull-up from Usher. They look easier than they are. Good touch from the Wildcats around the rim.
Well, here's where the Kings have gone back to what they were doing the first quarter, and that's over-dribbling. They're dribbling a lot now. It's getting in the point guard's hands, whether it be the point or the 2. It's dribble, dribble, on-ball screen. In the second quarter, that ball was kick, get the drive, and get to the free throw line or a score.
Denzel Valentine going outside for Galloway, who loses the ball. Usher in a race with Glover, and
he's done it again.
There's Usher scoring, forcing the foul on Glover as well. He'll go to the line. Jordan Usher.
Great finish, good strong finish. Second time this game in a similar situation. Picks the pocket, knows the foul's coming, braces himself, and the concentration and focus to finish off the glass.
Well, that's the second one, and he did it in the first half as well. Again, the Kings, that over-dribble. Just too much dribble, let the ball do the work, and he's taken out of the game now, Galloway, for that last possession.
In that breakaway situation, I'm watching Angus Glover thinking, be careful if you're going to foul. This is the time where we know how fine a line it is between just committing a general foul and going above and beyond that and getting possession back to the opposition again. 68-61. Now, it's Hiram Harris called for a blocking foul, so Jalen will go to the line.
Well, some much-needed free throws in the last 4 minutes, a 10-4 run by Perth. And each of those buckets from Sydney, some free throws, has been against the muscle there, just tough.
Well, we talk about the over-dribbling. I don't mind the mentality from the Kings to attack off the bounce. You've got to strike the right balance. Here Adams gets to the strike. Crowd goes quiet and he knocks it down. Both Hunter and Pinder came off the floor a couple of possessions ago. So there's no rim protection on the floor from either team. So it's the right mindset right now to put it on the deck, attack the rim, and get to the cup.
John really has said in the run to the finals, I'm looking to build on our strengths, not necessarily improve on our weaknesses. What's your reaction to that comment, fellas? And what would you say are the biggest strengths of Perth, aside from the obvious in Bryce Cotton, as Harris casually knocks down a 3 and says, Matty, our 3-ball is one of our strengths.
Well, I think one of their strengths is their depth. To be honest, the Wildcats, as Adams sticks the response from long range. They're finding contributions from all kinds of guys. Harris has really stepped up. Jordan Usher has found a nice role for him.
Christian Doolittle now.
Over the course of the season, and everybody's contributing.
Wouldn't necessarily be the go-to for every coach to build on a strength rather than improving the weaknesses, Brad, but that's the take from John, really, at least publicly.
I don't mind it. He's talking positive. Let's just get better at what we do well.
Usher. Doolittle needs an option. And that's a good one. Bryce Cotton. Cotton at Adams. And forcing the foul on the Sydney point guard. In fact, it's been called on Angus Glover.
That's his third personal, Glover. Look, Coach Abdel Fattah with a quasi little timeout. Taking the opportunity. Cotton steps up, knocks it down. Kings all get on the same page.
Don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Obviously, he's got something planned. And let's see if they can get it going.
The Harlem Globetrotters, they're coming to Australia. This is so much fun. I'll be at a city near you, no doubt. Head to nbl.com.au and you can access your tickets or scan the QR code. It's a great night out. I've been when they came to the Gong a few years ago. The kids loved it.
They get you out on the floor, Matt.
I thought even I could be a Washington General.
I hate to tell you, Matty, no, you can't.
Perth by 7, midway through the third. Cotton. And a hot shooting stint in the first quarter. Seems a little tougher. And Noy stays at it around the rim and gets the shot to go.
Well, this could be a good couple of minutes for Quatnoy. He is going to get some open looks playing in that. Well, he's really the 5. And he's going to get some good looks. He'll get some open shots. And he's been a little bit down on form lately, but this man hasn't, as he drops another 2. But I'd like to see Quatnoy spot up and not a couple down.
Ty Webster, 16 points, 7 of 8 from the field. So efficient. And there's Noy unable to finish from close range. Wagstaff grabs the rebound. In game 465, Jesse Wagstaff tried to add the 3 to that recent rebound and has it rim away. 6-time champion, what experience to call on. As Jalen Adams knocks down a crucial 3 for Sydney.
Oh, he's heating up now. Jalen Adams, that's 8 points for the quarter. Much needed, keeping the Kings in the contest.
19 for the game, 6 of 11 shooting. This time, Webster leaves his shot well short. Bit of momentum here for Sydney. Lost immediately. And they get it back, fumbles by both teams. And again, we've had 3 turnovers in 3 seconds. Bryce Cotton. Webster couldn't get it back. It's all a little wild at Kudos Bank Arena. They've just plugged the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals. Now Quatnoy wisely just settles it down for Sydney. Adams, shot clock at 5. The pass for Noy, if you can call it that, works.
Well, both teams looking a little bit frustrated here. They've just got to settle. And it's the one that settles and plays the defense. This is just some up and down basketball and just what we expected on Sunday afternoon.
The first leg of a Sunday doubleheader again after this, a crucial Sunshine Stoush Cairns against Brisbane, but the Harvey Norman replay showing Jalen Adams.
Well, he's found his touch here in this third quarter. Found a couple of little spots, knocked down from long range. Both teams these last couple of minutes rolling with some small ball lineups that we haven't seen much of over the course of the season. And as a result, there's a, it was a little wild out there for a few possessions. Abdel Fattah's gone back to Geordie Hunter. So their big 7-footers out there on the floor. Really is just holding off bringing Keanu Pinder back into the game. So a chance for Hunter to assert himself around the rim in these last couple of minutes of the third term.
Bryce Cotton drops both free throws. Jalen Adams with a couple of Mitsubishi threes, but he's back to the bench for the time being. Hunter, Bruce, Malowich, Noy and Valentine out there for the Kings. Cotton just helps Sean Bruce back to his feet. Now Valentine sits it up for Hunter, just slightly ill-timed, and they can't convert. Here's Michael Harris. Hiram and Michael Harris out there for the Wildcats. Muckwatch, Malowich again says that's 3, baby. He's having some sort of game, Brad.
Unbelievable, and don't forget that rebound, the last possession as well. Went up and just grabbed it down wide open and knocked that 3 down. And there's Bryce Cotton taking his 3.
Noi, the rebound, a good one. Malowich, 5 of 6, including 3 of 4 from outside. Noi couldn't get it done at the rim. And the foul is called on the Perth Wildcats.
Having a really big impact. Muckwatch, Malowich, his versatile skill set on display. Here's the previous possession. The threat of Geordie Hunter on the roll. Drags Christian Doolittle into the paint. And Malowich catches and knocks it down. And then here he is getting active on the offensive glass. Coming off the bench, he's got 16. Make that 17. Having a big, big night.
And that's a career high for Malowich. He had 16 against Illawarra earlier this season. And he goes to 18 against the Wildcats.
Well, it's just a good example, and young kids watching there, you've got to be ready for your time. No DJ Ho, no Jonah Bolden, no worries as Jordan Usher hits the 3. But Malowich comes on and says, I got you, no problems, and plays a wow of a game so far.
Valentine lets it go early. Tui couldn't get it back, but Malowich does. Now Quat Noi. A lot of hard work there, Sydney, without any reward. Fighting hard, 2 points down. 15 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock 2 seconds inside the game clock. Doolittle finds Hiram Harris. Way too heavy on the shot. And Sydney will have no time left.
24. Correct. 24. 0.8.
Okay, so shot clock expires. There's less than a second left on the clock.
Abdel Fattah subs Jalen Adams into the game. Says, hey, if anyone's going to hit it from halfway, I'm going with my point guard.
No, 1.4 put on the clock now. So there's a baseline inbound coming. Catch and shoot.
Expect a quick flash from one of the bigs here. Oh, they're going Christian Leitner style.
Michael Harris gets in the way. He lobs it towards the other end, but it's the Perth Wildcats in front again at the break, but only just. Wildcats 80, Kings 78, 1 quarter to play. We're set for a thrilling finish at Kudos Bank Arena. Stay with us, you're watching Hungry Jacks NBL. afternoon in Sydney, and plenty of fans have sought the air-conditioned comfort of Kudos Bank Arena. 13,138, hoping the Kings, inspired by Makwaj Malowich, can come from behind in the final quarter to win. It's 80-78. We're set for a thriller between these two top four teams in a game that has really significant importance on the ladder. It is so tight. Sydney after back-to-back wins after a three-game skid. And Perth looking for 6 straight victories, the hottest team in the league. And now Bryce Cotton draws a foul on Denzel Valentine.
Well, hopefully we get to watch this again. That is why that man has 5,000 plus points in this league. Just the way he creates it, goes hard. He knew there is no doubt that Valentine is out of position. I'm just going to go straight at your legs here and bang. Yep, you're going to foul me. Made the contact. That's his 3rd foul. Fantastic, Bryce Cotton.
Bryce Cotton guarded by Valentine, goes for Keanu Pinder, who collides heavily with Jordan Hunter.
Great contest. The athletic contest, exactly what we love to see. And Pinder learned from experience, kept his off arm down. Hunter, vertical, bang, bang play, no call.
The home team has won 8 of the last 9 battles between these clubs.
Black 24! Well, they've called that on Jesse Wagstaff. Poor Geordie Hunter's got another one in the face. He's holding it there and just with an elbow, but no meaning into that at all, just big men going at it.
It's flying a little under the radar, fellas, over the course of the afternoon. Game-leading scorer here is Jordan Usher. 10 points in that 3rd quarter. Wow. He's shot 10 of 13 from the field, nearly 80%. As Valentine can't hit from long range. Cooling his jets on the bench right now, well-earned rest.
Usher was really strong to start and has not eased up. Here's Doolittle. Jordan Hunter showed a hand, but Doolittle was too good. We'll have a timeout. Sydney Kings. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah calling it after a minute.
Well, so he should.
Final quarter.
That's just too easy. There was just 2 dribbles and it was straight up jump shot.
So Perth, 80-78. You feel like this is going to be tight right down to the wire. And you sit back and wonder, well, what sort of say are Cotton and Adams, this hype matchup, going to have as we go down the stretch?
Well, they're going to have a lot to say about it. Cotton, of course, the league-leading scorer. He's got 20. He's been ticking it over all afternoon. And Adams just found his touch there in that 3rd term. Really, Adams and Malowich have carried the load of the scoring for the Kings, and there's been a pretty good spread outside of those 2. Cotton, Usher, and Webster, the 3 guys in double digits for the Cats.
Liam, I wanted to throw at you, Jalen Adams in and out of the game a lot, right? And then you've got situations where there is no doubt whatsoever Bryce Cotton is coming out of the game. I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Jalen Adams, career average 24 points against Perth. That's the most against any opponent. So as I said earlier, Liam, he might speak down or talk down this matchup with Bryce, but performances suggest it means something to him, and both men are going to look to put their stamp on the game in this final quarter. They're both out there now and pumped for a big finish. Here's Valentine for Adams. Blocked by a combination of Ty Webster and Christian Doolittle. Strong from Webster.
Really solid defense at the rim at both ends of the floor. Adams, great attack. And Christian Doolittle met him at the rim, and down the other end, good wall up from Hunter. Playing on 3 fouls. Denies the Wildcats in the paint.
Cotton ducking and weaving, then passing for Wagstaff. Beautiful basketball from the Perth Wildcats. run at speed, execution perfect, and the 3 points are delivered.
John Riley's up and about, right in front of us here on the sidelines. He's been pretty stoic throughout the game. There you see Jesse Wagstaff catch and splash from the corner, but really can smell blood in the water right now. Feels like an opportunity to step on Sydney's neck.
It was Perth by 14 in the first quarter. Since then, Sydney have been neck and neck as Valentine can't get the 3 to go. We've had 9 lead changes, but now it's Perth with this handy advantage in the fourth. 7 points. Ty Webster was looking for Pinder, and they claim that Angus Glover just shoved him out of the way. John Riley is ropeable.
Oh, understandably so. Pinder had the seal. There you see the frustration on Riley's head. Pinder seals up, down low. The pass comes high, low, over the top, and Glover, ultra physical, gets away with it.
So Sydney, maybe a little questionably, get the stop. Can they score at the end of it as Kudos Bank Arena falls silence? Plenty of contact out there all of a sudden. Now Valentine just reefs the ball from Doolittle, gives it to Glover. He's off the mark, and Cotton cleans up. Pinder. Shot clock to single figures now. Galloway guarding Ty Webster, who spins, fights to the rim. Can't get it to fall, and Noy takes the rebound. Quat Noy found a way to give it for Galloway. They're fighting hard, the defending back-to-back champs. Webster to Pinder, and this time it's easy.
Geez, he's played well, Ty Webster, hasn't he? Yep. He's got the 16 points at a really high percentage and 4 assists to go with it.
Adams, little fade away with an and one. No.
Well, he may question that, but the number one thing is you don't swipe. If you swipe, you're putting yourself in a position, watch this, not bad D, straight up and back, right there. You swipe down, you're giving the referee an opportunity to call that foul.
Meanwhile, what you do if you're the Sydney Kings, get Jalen Adams the rock.
Yes.
You can tell he's got an aggressive mindset here in the fourth quarter. He knows he needs to be big. He's on the attack.
Well, here's my question, Lee, and I know the game's been up and down. He's coming out of the game now. All right, so Sean Bruce is coming in. And this is my question too. Do you just let him ride? There is no thought of Bryce Cotton coming out of the game. What is this subbing in and out? Are you for it?
Well, I don't love it. I don't love it. Not with your premier guy who found his touch in the third quarter, is in an aggressive mindset to start the fourth.
And the look after he dropped the free throw was one of reluctant resignation that he was going off. I think he was trying to hide it, but he didn't want to go as Cotton from a long way outside. He watches Jalen Adams trudge off and says, well, if you're not here, I'm going to party.
Oh, I'm hearing Trevor Gleeson, right hand, right hand. Look at this. He's been doing it for so long, and it's just, you can't do much more than that, really.
Well, he jumps forward, Bryce Cotton, when he shoots the 3-ball. And as a result, Quat Noy is in his landing spot. It's so difficult to defend, but the ability to still knock it down, he's an absolute marvel.
4-point play, Bryce Cotton up to 24 points for the game. He and Jordan Usher, joint game leaders in that regard. What a roll they're on. Angling towards a 6th straight victory. Valentine Melbourne have been ladder leaders for so long this season, but it's not a given that they're going to finish on top, and that's part of the reason this outcome is so important. Sydney fighting to get as high as they can. Perth maybe in the eyes of many with the top two locked away, but how high can they go?
Well, the way that the playoff structure is put together, you do get a huge advantage if you finish on top, for sure. But really the biggest advantage is finishing top two and staying out of any of that play-in type business. So that's what's on the line here. The Wildcats looking to solidify their spot in that area. As you can see there on the Mitsubishi Motors standings, the Kings looking to see if they can get involved in that conversation.
Well, that is the live ladder now, and you're right, it is so close. And don't forget, you got Cairns and Brisbane after this. So one team obviously wins, one team loses. And that's going to move the Kings. If they lose this one, they go to 5th.
Perth by 7. Christian Doolittle just bumps Noy out of the way, but can't get the shot to go. Valentine working in behind Hunter, and Wagstaff commits the foul. He's been in the wars today, Geordie Hunter.
Wagstaff trying to use his veteran savvy to draw the foul on Hunter, and the officials wise to his antics.
Denzel Valentine pulls up for 3, and the rebound is taken by Wagstaff.
I'll tell you what this Kings group out there needs right now is Jalen Adams. They're a little lost at the offensive end.
I've shot the 3 ball at 24% today. It took them 10 shots to find their first, and that's a 4th foul. That's a headache for the Sydney Kings. Geordie Hunter picks up his 4th.
Well, I'm fine with that, but Jalen Adams back in, which is good. I'm just not sure, like, you need players that are going to put it in, and today there's been players that haven't felt it. You want guys out there that are comfortable playing right now.
Cotton just gets away from Galloway, gets the shot away in time, and an offensive rebound hurts the Kings. Perth hanging tough late in Sydney. And now Cotton draws the foul.
The Kings are calling for a travel, but the foul will go on Galloway. The feet get caught up. The little hesitation dribble from Cotton right there, bang, and then Galloway's feet get caught up. Cotton goes down, easy call for the official.
Well, I like this sub from Perth, Ty Webster, bringing out Jesse Wagstaff. He's had great minutes, but I love the sub.
He's gassed, Brad.
Yeah, he is.
He could hardly breathe, Wagstaff, as he came to the bench.
Scan that QR code, be part of that No Bull Tour coming your way in February. A good basketball show here as well. 7 the difference, still time for the Kings. Galloway and Adams. Is it going to be one of those two to spark a Sydney fight back as the foul is called on Pinder?
Well, there you go, Liam. Bring on Jalen Adams, make some things happen. Misses the shot, but Geordie Hunter knows, I know this is going up. He gets the offensive bound, and there goes Pinder. That's his 5th, he's out.
Forced out by a man who's nursing for himself, Jordan Hunter. Now with 10 rebounds for the game, Hunter. So for 6 games in a row, he's had 9 or more boards.
Yeah, he's been a beast. He's close now to yet another double-double. Pinder goes out. He was never really able to get himself fully into the game, Pinder. Had the foul trouble throughout. 10 points, 2 boards. Meanwhile, now the Wildcats, they become rather small. That's why Riley wants to talk about it.
We've got a special guest joining us, very special. I saw him last night in Wollongong. He's made his way to Sydney. DJ Vasiljevic, did you have any trouble getting past security in here this afternoon?
A little bit, but it's good to be back in the old stomping grounds and look at the championship banners.
I bet you enjoyed last night. That was a fantastic performance by Adelaide, what a month of January you're having.
Yeah, we are. I think we're playing some good basketball. I think we let Cairns slip, but I think we're rolling slowly and we can still make the playoffs.
DJ Liam here, mate. Two-time Sydney King Championship player. What are your fondest memories of this gym?
Just the players I played with, just a great group of guys, and obviously the atmosphere of the fans.
Have to ask you, DJ, it's Brad here. I saw you in the back there giving a little bit of hug to Paul Smith. That would have been a good conversation you two had.
No, we did. There's a lot of respect there. Obviously, won 2 championships for Smithy, so the love's still there. And yeah, I gave everything I could for the Sydney Kings.
DJ, the Perth Wildcats, they're on a 5-game winning streak, and they're only 4 minutes from making it 6 in a row. What are you seeing in the Wildcats right now?
I think they've figured it out. Everything has to go through Bryce, and then everyone else does their job around. So Jordan Usher's playing a good game. Counter Pinder's been good, and Jesse Wagstaff, that's the veteran. He holds everything together.
Just a quick question, mate. 5 games to go for Adelaide. You win those, playoff bound. What's the talk?
We're making it. I said at the start when I first got to Adelaide, I want it to happen, so that's my goal.
Well, DJ Vasiljevic, congratulations on your form and Adelaide's revival in January. We'll see you again soon, my friend. Great commentary during the week as well.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
DJ Vasiljevic in the thick of the championship reign here over the last couple of years for the Sydney Kings, and great to see what Adelaide have done. Not many Hawks fans saying that this morning, but
that's true.
But Adelaide under Scott Ninnis. Last time he was in Wollongong on New Year's Eve, he was full of praise. Interim coach Justin Taylor. Well, I reckon Scotty deserves some praise as well for what he's been able to do.
No doubt, absolutely. They're in great form. Won 4 of their last 5, and cool for DJ to roll in. There's a little ill feeling with what happened during the off-season, but a 2-time championship winning player for this club.
And it goes with Sydney. Just back to DJ. A young fan wanted a hat last night. DJ said, come back to the team hotel over the road. Sure enough, as I was walking out, there was DJ making good on his promise, delivering the signed hat to the young fans. Brilliant. Great stuff. Brilliant.
Look, he was much loved here for the couple of years and still is. I mean, you take what happened in the off-season, and Hunter looking sore there as he will go to the free throw line, but push comes to shove, he is, and like you said, Liam, a 2-time champion here.
So all fouls now will result in free throws. Still best part of 4 minutes left. Perth by 5. You called it during the third quarter break, Liam. We are going down the stretch. You feel like this is coming down to the final shot of the game, don't you?
I do, and I've got my eyes. There you see Paul Smith, Sydney Kings ownership group, on the edge of their seat as usual. I've got my eyes on that Cotton-Adams matchup down the stretch here. This game living up to all expectations.
That's a relatively tame shirt by the Kings owner, I should point out. There's Mahmoud Abdel Fattah, who hasn't always been tame in recent weeks. Fired up at times as he tries to get the Kings back to their best and to a 3rd straight championship. There's a shot in it. They haven't gone away today. Christian Doolittle off the mark. Galloway the rebound. And the Kings can level it up here.
Well, it was a little thing, but the Kings extended up the court there just to take some air out. And then a 3-point shot goes to Doolittle rather than Cotton. Little change up. Nice one.
Shot clock to 5. Adams with a pull-up jumper. It goes.
Grabs at his elbow, Adams, after knocking that down.
He's shooting arm too.
If you're the Wildcats, though, you've got to play through Cotton.
Webster for Usher. The extra pass now. Harris to Cotton. It goes right around the arc and back where it started.
And that's why you get it back to him, Matt. Here you see Jalen Adams. Kings operating through their main guy, and down the other end, there you see him grabbing at his elbow. Just by getting the ball back to Cotton, the double comes. Now the Kings are in rotations, and Harris is open in the lane.
Well, we're just watching Adams there at the top of the screen having that beautiful pickle juice. He is renowned to cramp. He's one of those guys that does lose a lot of fluid throughout, so just having the pickle juice and letting his elbow know, I'm good. Let's get a couple more up.
Hiram Harris at the line for the first time today, and he makes good with the first free throw. He's been an 82% free throw shooter this season. The second one jumps out. Hunter with the rebounds. 11 boards for the game, Jordan Hunter. Adams, how's that shooting arm? Result is good. The arm's still a little stiff after the release. I'm not convinced his shooting arm is 100%, Lee.
He's playing through it, though.
Bryce Cotton. Oh, magnificent from Bryce.
Well, this is fun to watch. The two most recent MVPs of the league going punch for punch down the stretch.
Jalen Adams, back at you. They are delivering on the hype. Adams and Cotton in a late shootout at Kudos Bank Arena. Locked at 95 inside the final two. Two top four teams going at it. Now Hiram Harris banks three.
Well, it's a gamble. You double on Bryce Cotton to try and get the ball out of his hand, and you give it to someone to shoot the three, and off the glass he makes it. Massive shot.
Jalen Adams with 29 points for the game. Bryce Cotton with 27 for the game.
Here's the Harvey Norman replay. Adams gets to his spot, knocks down the mid-range. Cotton comes down and answers from long range. And then Adams says, all right, okay. Take three right back at you.
This is a basketball treat. Two league MVPs head-to-head shooting sweetly. The game a tight one. And a crowd of more than 13,000 at Kudos Bank Arena appreciating it and trying to make life a little difficult for Christian Doolittle right here. No problems with the first.
Can you get one? Can you get another one?
Doolittle, another 83% free throw shooter this season. Never looked like missing. The break back out to 5.
Big possession here. 5-point margin, 2-possession game. Kings really need a bucket.
Their preferred option, a Jalen Adams three-point attempt. No, it's Jordan Hunter on the move, and he forces a foul on the Wildcats. Jordan Usher, I think, is the man identified.
Well, good action. Nice screen. Great pass by Adams. Gets his big man to the free throw. He's made a couple there already, but just good. Been saying it for a long time, Leon. He is a big man that sets a great screen in this league, and he rolls really hard.
Yeah, and really good awareness from Adams. He's come off that pick and scored from that spot a couple of times in these last few minutes, so he knew his roll man would be open this time around.
We've got some great big men in the league. Jordan Hunter is one of them. Last night we saw Isaac Humphries continue his stellar form. Sam Froling doing it all year for the Illawarra Hawks.
Porty, JLA, it keeps going. Pinder, it just keeps going, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, Sauce Williams injured for Southeast Melbourne, but we're a lucky league when we've got big men of that ilk contributing week in, week out. Jordan Hunter makes the front end, misses the back. So 4 points in it, just over a minute left. Remember, Perth are on a 39-hour turnaround as Cotton pulls up. Shot jumps out, Noy gets the rebounds. They've made a habit now of winning the second leg in same round doubles, the Wildcats. And Adams finds Bruce. Sean needs an option, throws it up to the opposition's main man. Sydney got that possession horribly wrong. And Christian Doolittle says, let's work the clock.
Wow. Jeez. A lot to unpack. It was Adams and Cotton. Doolittle got involved. He got it back. He missed Tui right there. And then Sean Bruce got stuck in the air. Everyone standing and watching. Oh boy, wouldn't they want that possession back.
You're so right, Liam, but give credit to Perth. Outstanding defense to get that steal at that time of the game.
For the difference, 31 seconds to play. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah and John Riley to speak to the troops. So they've challenged the hands foul on Sean Bruce.
Nothing to lose. Probably needed the timeout anyway. Talk through the situation.
You get a look at it here. They had him in the double team. Yeah, they're probably not going to win that challenge. It was a late whistle, but that left hand from Bruce just gets involved there. A slight little push. Doolittle will go to the free throw line, I suspect.
Yeah, right there with that left. You're right, Liam.
The senior referee, Michael Aylan, standing by to deliver the review outcome.
He's just taking a moment to enjoy the ambience.
It's always a good ambience. I don't know whether that's the right descriptive word.
Is atmosphere?
Ambience is a bit more relaxed than it often is here at Kudos Bank Arena.
Well, he looks pretty relaxed, does he not?
Absolutely he does. The crowd's not so relaxed. True. Great crowds all season, Brad, and they're making some noise again.
Top venue open, it always is. I spoke to Chris Promgrass earlier and I said, what's the crowd? And I think he said over 12, 13,000. I said, oh, that low. And he says, I know, can you believe it? We're saying it like that.
So a long look at this hands
After
foul
review, the
call on
coaching
Sean
challenge is successful. There's no foul on the play. The foul on Bruce will be cancelled. We will restart with the side ball to Perth.
Okay.
After review, the coach's challenge
I stand corrected.
I had a long, good look at it. Well, I must admit, you and Brad stand corrected. If I voiced my irrelevant opinion, I was with you two.
Yeah, you
I was
stayed.
clean
Well,
sweep.
You stayed right out of it.
In the context, I think I would have preferred the foul because then you go to the free throw line now. Okay, you go for a steal, but you still got a two-possession game.
And there's this.
And now they foul Cotton. Now, who would you prefer?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perth expected that, so you put Bryce Cotton as the receiver.
9 of 9 today from the free throw line.
Bryce Cotton to the line, shooting two.
A 90% free throw shooter this season. 88% across his career. Game 2-2-2.
Oh, wow.
It just got interesting for free hungry Jacks. Get loud!
Bryce Cotton, with burgers on the line, it was never going to miss.
Well, it just keeps the door ajar ever so slightly. Now, they're going to need to come down and knock down a three ball.
Yeah.
That'll be what they're drawing up in the huddle. They'll have the chance to advance it. And they're going to need some help from the Wildcats along the way in terms of, you know, coughing it up or continuing to miss from the free throw line. But Doolittle's missed one late, Cotton's missed one late, and they haven't completely put this one away.
Well, the important thing here as well is if you're John Riley, you're going to say, we're getting up at 2 or 3, and if it goes in, that's fine. Then what? Right? Set up our downs. They're going to push up the court. Let's make sure we put, probably Bryce Cotton in the best position to get the ball. And look at these two MVP-style players. We said it was going to be a matchup today, and boy, hasn't it.
What a matchup. Big plays from both of them. Is Bryce Cotton going to finish on top as Perth look for 6 straight? We're not done when we hit full time here either. Off to far north Queensland. Cairns v Brisbane coming up. Another huge contest, the Sunshine Stoush, which have had a few elements this season, haven't they?
They have, and I mean, when you look at the standings, really important game. Cairns coming off that win over Illawarra. Brisbane licking their wounds after going down in Perth.
Sydney off to southeast Melbourne to start round 17 on Thursday, but how do they wrap up their round 16 right here? Bruce with the inbound, Geordie Hunter flushes 2. In no time at all, a quick bucket really opens this game back up. Now Wagstaff ridden by Mowich.
It's a 5-second differential. They're not going to foul. And
Yes,
now
they
they do. Wow, they let a lot of time come off the clock. which was odd. They went for the quick two.
Yeah,
Said, all right, you expect us to come out and shoot the three, rip it through, get on the rim.
Doolittle 2 of 2 from the line so far, Brad.
What hurt them here is when the ball gets over, and that's a great move by Geordie Hunter, just a quick hit, is the ball got over the court, and Jalen Adams didn't want to foul because he's got 4. So he's calling his teammates, come and foul, and that left more seconds to get off the clock. Not what they wanted. Look, simple scenario. They just want to see Perth miss on the free throw line and get some scores.
The 13,000 fans trying to have a roll. The right sort of roll there for Doolittle. We're up by 4, and you can make it 5. Christian Doolittle back from concussion and holding his nerve at the line. Kwatnoi off and racing. He leaves the scoop short, and Perth give it to Bryce. They can reach out and touch victory now.
See, I find that odd, Matt. They go for the quick 2, okay, but then it means you're not trading 3s for 2s, and then they go for another 2. Here's Kwatnoi, you're down 5. Clock's ticking away. The 2's not going to help at this point. Got to pull up, shoot from long range, and now Cotton goes to the stripe to close this one out.
Liam, we talk about the ladder, and what it does here for Perth is really consolidates them in that 1-2. Like you said, now you get a bite. Now the Kings... Sorry, Ty Webster's just come over to our commentary and said, where's everyone going? Because the crowd are leaving.
He said, where's everyone going? Is it over?
But what I was going to say is the end here, tough times for the Kings now. They've got to stay in that 6.
They couldn't back up their biggest win of the season against New Zealand, but Perth certainly have. From Brisbane to Sydney and a big trip across the country in between. They've taken down the Bullets, they've taken down the Kings, and Pride Round has Wildcats fans really proud about their team.
Big win for the Wildcats. Ty Webster with some party shots. Where's everyone going? As he sees the Kings fans heading up the aisles. Big win on the road for the Cats.
The Foot Locker player of the game. Who else? Bryce Cotton, averaging 24 points per game, the league's leading scorer. He has 29 today after 28 on Friday. Who cares about a 39-hour turnaround?
Unbelievable. 13 wins from 15 games now from the Perth Wildcats. Outstanding. And that man, just give him the MVP trophy now, Liam.
It's a sensational 6 in a row for John Riley and the Wildcats. They beat the Kings 104-98. He's brilliant.